beautiful people. I am super excited for this video because I am finally feeling like I'm getting my life back on track. It feels really good. Okay, so for the past 6 months, since moving to Florida, I have been unemployed, and that has had its pros and its cons, and I have done my best to make the most out of it, and I think I've done pretty good, to be honest. But now that I have a job and I'm getting into a regular routine, I feel like mentally there was kind of like a block removed, because I know that my job is going to take care of a lot of my financial responsibilities so that I can just like keep my lifestyle, right? And then everything else that I do is extra, and I'm really excited about that. From like a financial standpoint, from a creative standpoint, I'm very excited, and I feel now way more than I did, like, let's say in July or August, that I can confidently move swiftly toward my goals, and really knowing that I have the tools and the resources, additional tools and resources, aka money, to make those things happen. Being a business owner is one thing, and one of the things about it, let me try that again. Being a business owner is one thing, and by one thing, it is its own separate thing that I think is not widely discussed when it comes to operations, when it comes to systems and implementation, and there's so many moving pieces and parts. And so what's really cool is that there's one big thing, like, how am I going to get the finances that I need to just cover my lifestyle and make sure that I'm able to sustain what I have here, right? And that is a very heavy and big thing when you're an entrepreneur. And then over here, it's like, how do we create and grow? And so I know for myself, I need to have a certain level of financial security. So having a job is like wonderful. That was kind of a tangent, but it's important, I promise. Because as a result, now I can comfortably and confidently focus over here on creation and development and growth and really turning my dreams into reality next level. And so it's kind of a trade, but I am finding that balance. And so I'm very excited. And right now, this video, I'm excited because for the first time since I moved down here, I have written out clear goals, personal, business, and financial, and I feel so confident about being able to obtain them and really make them happen. I felt as though in like June, July, August, September even, that I had goals, and I would write them down. I'm like, oh, it'd be so great if this happens, but if not, it's okay, because I still don't have that additional income. My sister called me. Anyway, what I was saying is that I felt as though in June, July, August, September, that I was still feeling as though I'd write my goals down and I would really like for these things to happen and it'd be so great if they did, but I wasn't feeling 100% confident about it, because I knew in the back of my mind, this is what I needed for, like, to sustain my life and my, my basics, sustain, paying my rent and paying for electricity, the basics. And then I needed also this extra over here so that I can really grow my business and hit my goals. And now I have all of this taken care of, so I don't have to worry about this. And now I can really focus on these, and I'm just so jazzed. Okay, so my goals for November are interesting. I'm doing things a little bit different. Typically, when I set my goals, I actually do them by quarter. So I have like Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And then I break those goals down by month. And what I'm in the process of reading this great book. It's called The 12-Week Year. I feel as I'm reading, I'm like, this is fire. It's so great. I'll do a review on it later. However, one of the big takeaways is that each week in a quarter is considered 1 month in a year. So for example, it's Q4 at the beginning of October, it was Q4. And so that first week in October would be considered 1 month out of the year. So it's like, what would normally take me 1 month to get done, I'm going to get done in 1 week. And so I really like this philosophy. I think it is, like I said, fire. Anyway, I kind of looked at my goals and was like, what do I want to get done for the rest of the quarter? And then I ranked them. So here are my goals, if you guys can see those. So here are my goals. And I ranked them from like, I have 11, and some of them, it's a mix between business, personal, and financial. And I'm just going to focus on each week. I'm going to make my top 3 and then execute those to the best of my ability so that I am building momentum, and it's going to be great. This is my optimism, but I'm very excited. I think that it will be great. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so the first goal is to level up in Krav Maga. I've been taking Krav Maga since May. I love it. I really like it. And I have my yellow belt. Woo woo. And in order to get to my orange belt, I have to acquire 3 stripes. So I have to test 4 times. And then on the 4th one, when I pass, I'll get my orange belt. And so the next level test is actually in like 2 weeks. That's not true. It's in like a week. From when I'm filming this, it's in a week. Crazy. But I'm still gonna take the test. I don't feel 100% confident. I feel like 60%, but I'm going to make it a priority for the next week, and it'll be fine. So there's that. My next goal is to go to my sister's wedding. Oh, I'm so excited for her. I could just like, I'm such a girl. I just get so excited. I love love and I love romance, and I think they have the cutest story. Actually, when I get done recording this video, I'm going to call her fiance and make sure I have the details correct for my maid of honor speech, but I'm very excited. And that's on my goal list because between not working, the hurricane, and all these other things, I was gonna figure out how to go to my sister's wedding, but I just wanna be able to go and enjoy. And right now I'm very excited because that is what it's looking like is gonna happen. I'm gonna be able to go and enjoy. Okay, my next goal is to save $1,000. So obviously being unemployed and working, you know, gig jobs here and there, money's been very tight and I've had to dip into my reserves. And then on top of all that, there was also the hurricane. So I had to dip in my reserves again. And so I want to replenish that. And the first step for me in replenishing that is to just save $1,000. And that's it. That is one of my big financial focuses for November. Okay, then I have 2 other financial focuses that I'm so excited about. The first one is creating a debt elimination plan. Because now I would like say these before, or like I'd write them down in July or in August. And I think in the back of my mind, I was like, you don't have enough extra income to really make that happen. And now I do. So now between working and doing gig jobs and some other things, oh, it's about to be poppin'. So I am going to set up a debt elimination plan. And then once I have that, which I'm super excited, my next goal is to pay $300, just starting off in November, to put $300 toward my debt elimination plan. So I'll go into that more in another video so you guys can see, but I'm super excited. Another financial goal that I have, which it's a mix between personal and financial, is actually to set up a family trust. I think this is really important because of some of the bigger goals that I have in the future and the things that I want to do. Having a trust to protect everything, protect all my hard work, and make sure that my family benefits off of my hard work is really important. So that is at the top of my priority list for the month of November, which I think is gonna be interesting. And I think interesting because I'm trying to figure out where to start with it. But of course, there's always, you start with YouTube University and then reading some books. And then, but for me, I also need to find contacts here, and that's gonna be interesting. But you know, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I'm sure I know someone who can help me with that. Okay, here's where it gets good. I'm excited. More, my business goals for November. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I am writing a series of books to help people adult, because I think it is something that is just so needed. And I think it's something that like younger people, especially those that are fresh out of high school or out of university, could really benefit from, because high school and university are not like the real world at all. Such a facade. And then when you leave, you get thrown into this world of the real world, and it's like a slap in the face, and it is rough. So I'm writing this series of books to help young people. I've written my first one. I haven't released it yet, but it's written, it's edited, and it is available online. However, I hit this stagnation, this lull, if you will, when it came to book number 2. And so I am going to focus this month in November on book number 2. My first goal is to complete the outline, and then my second goal is to start writing. And those seem very similar, but the outline is super important and will help, obviously, me writing. And then when I say start writing, that means completing the research that I need to complete and actively write the book. So for me, I feel like this is actually a really big goal, not something super far out there. It is attainable, but it's a big one because I just have to be very intentional with dedicating my time to this, and I'm excited to do that. Another big goal that I have is to redesign my website. Right now, there are a couple of things that I think are not awesome about it. When you go there, it's okay, but honestly, it's just not even up to date, so that's one problem. And the second problem is it's not very clear. When I started this website, it was more of a blog, less about business, and I want to keep that aspect so that people can see that my life, how do I explain this? I want my life to be a testimony and for it to be showcased in a way that is encouraging and inspiring to other people so that they can go after their dreams. You know, like what is it that God has put on your heart to do and to fulfill your purpose. So I still want that aspect of my website. I also want to provide tools and resources that are going to help people, especially young people, like my book. And I want to have other things on there, some blog posts, and it's going to be really cool. I'm very excited, but in order to do that, it needs a redesign. So that is another goal that I have for November. With that being said, anyway, I feel some type of way. I'm going to also have a photo shoot so that my website has some really nice pictures of me. I still feel some type of way about having pictures taken of me. It's so crazy. I don't know why, but anyway, I'm gonna have a photo shoot. So that is one of my goals as well. Okay. And my last big goal for the month is to develop consistent graphics for my YouTube, my Instagram, and my website. So this is really coming down to like branding, and I guess that's it. I'm redesigning my website and creating a consistent brand with everything across all social media platforms and within my website. And I'm pretty excited. That one, I think, hopefully, I'm being optimistic, but hopefully it's not like a crazy challenge. I feel like it should be pretty simple, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's it. To create consistent branding across all platforms. So those are my goals, but I also have habits that I want to track. I started doing this back in July and then fell off the bandwagon. I can't even tell you what happened. And then October, it's been a whirlwind. So we're just gonna hop back on that bandwagon and get refocused. So the habits that I want to track are, number one, reading my Bible on a daily basis. Before, like I said, I think back in July, it wasn't necessarily every day, but it was at least 4 to 5 times a week, which is great and wonderful. Let me tell you, you should totally pick up a Bible and read that bad boy. So incredible. The things that are in there, amazing. I digress. The second habit that I want to track is actually just reading 20 minutes a day. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I listen to a lot of podcasts, different things on YouTube. I also love to read. So I have my Kindle and I love actual books. I just love them. But for sure in October, and I feel like in September, things were changing and shifting, and I kept putting off reading. And so I want to get back in the habit of reading for a minimum of 20 minutes a day. Minimum. If not, we'll start there. But 20 minutes or 10 pages, whichever comes first. And then that's just, I think, so important. And then my next goal is to pray and journal. I'd say every day. That's me being really optimistic, but probably like 5 times a week. How do I explain this? So I pray, like when I get up in the morning, I start praying. And then, but sometimes I write my prayers down in a journal. And so I want to have my conversations with God on a daily basis. That's a non-negotiable. But sometimes when I'm having those conversations, my brain goes all over the place. I don't know if that happens to you, but it happens to me. And I find that when I have my prayer journal, it helps me to just and focus and be intentional as I write, and just slows my brain down so it doesn't have the opportunity to get pulled over at this thought or that thought or, all over. So there's that. So I want to make sure that I am prayer journaling at least 3 to 4 times a week. And then my last one, this one isn't so much a habit as much as it is something just to track. And that is actually tracking the days where I don't spend any money. So since my goal is debt elimination and really actively working toward that in a conscious way, so excited. One of the big things for me, because I know myself, is not spending frivolously. Now, I'm very thankful that I have money and that I've had resources to purchase different things, but I also know that sometimes I'm like, I'll put this amount over here so that I can just spend it on what I want, which is great. It's part of a discipline, but I also want to be very intentional about, like, if I don't need to spend money today, just don't. Because I know myself, some days I'll be bored, or I'll just be like, maybe I'll be really stressed or really anxious, and then I'll go spend money that I have no business spending. I don't need to spend any of this money. I need to go home and read a book. I know myself. So I'm going to track the number of days where I don't spend any money, and I am hoping that will help me become more intentional with my spending and what I do with my money. Okay, so these are my goals for November and the habits that I want to track. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what are some of your goals that you have for November. I'll see you in the next video.